You're listening to Hayes Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio. Yeah, you know what time it is. It is the Rastas Crypto Chronic Show. And I'm queuing it up, man, for my boys. You know how it is. Because this first episode is going to be legendary. Because we got a legendary motherfucker in the house.
Exactly. You guys are welcoming in. You're welcoming me in. I'm brand new on the block. I'm that fresh guy, black on the block, and I'm just kind of educate the masses, you know. There's a lot of people out here kind of, you know, holding on to education and not allowing it to be free for everybody. I'm here to kind of give that freedom to the world, which is what cryptocurrencies is about. If you don't know me, my name's Ghost DeFi _Ghost on Twitter. I'm just like an everyday guy, just like everybody else. I got in cryptocurrency really early on and understood the power of it, and it changed my life. And I'm here kind of educating a lot of other people and allowing them to see, you know, what this can do for their life as well, you know. I kind of touched on, you know, a lot of things as far as, you know, NFTs, what it does, you know, the fact that it's not just a photo, it's a utility, right? It has a kind of undervalued value that a lot of people don't know about. So I'm going to kind of introduce some guests that we've got on, you know, super blessed. They've come in with some straight fire. I thought I'd seen dabs before, but I mean, you know, what these guys have come in have been is just, you know, complete next level. You know, got my boy Zeus on. Zeus, you want to say what's up?
Yeah, what's goody?
Yo, man, it's a pleasure. I want you guys to introduce yourself. So you guys want to introduce yourself from Treebird Brands, you know, the extracts kings. You guys want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Chad. I basically just do the sales and the networking on the business.
Yeah, what's going on? My name is Daniel. And, we're just killing the extraction game, man. Welcome to Treebird Brands, man.
Yeah.
Super gas.
If you guys don't know, you definitely got to check him out. You know, like I said, you know, I want you guys to kind of go in, for us that don't know, kind of, you know, what is extracts exactly. And, you know, I'm seeing, you know, crystals. I'm seeing, you know, gel kind of concentrate, all different type. I want you guys to break that down for the people that don't know.
So there's multiple grades of extracts. You know, you have a rosin, which is basically, we don't have any rosin here at the moment, but just to give you guys some education. So you have rosin, which is usually made from just a heating press, where you can either press the flower or you could press keef or bubble hash, and you're just using heat. And then that's what's considered solventless extraction. And then you also have solvent extraction, which is basically like the stuff we have here, where you take either buds or, you know, close high-grade trim, and you pack it into these columns, and then you extract it using medical-grade butane or propane or some kind of butane-propane mix. And what you do is you have the gas run through the material, and it pulls off all the THC, and it all comes into a big pot, and then you squirt it out into a container, and then you put it through a vacuum oven, which boils off all of the gases that you don't want. Wow. Until you're just left with the high grade THC, and which is what we have.
And that's the crazy thing that I didn't know, you know, until you kind of told me today. You would use about what was it, 20 pounds? You would essentially evaporate to make how much oil exactly?
Roughly 1 liter, and it just it depends. Damn. And it depends.
Insane, right?
That's wild.
Of straight fire flower.
Right, fire.
Well, just to correct you, that's like the high grade, the trim. You know, there's some buds and stuff mixed in, but for the most part, you know, people do nug run here and there, but
okay.
Yeah.
So we're saving the nugs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's good.
Definitely. And, you know, I touched a bit off camera, you know, about crypto and NFTs. I would love for you guys to, let me click that for you guys. To kind of, you know, what was your thoughts as I kind of touched with that offline?
Honestly, it definitely opened my eyes up to, you know, I'm a little bit aware of of like the crypto and whatnot. I don't really have too much involved in it.
Might be too close.
Yeah, you're hearing the echo, huh?
Sorry about that. Yeah, might have to change it as well.
So
Go ahead.
So I understand the value, and it sounds like the whole NFT game. You're getting involved in a community, and it's also a way to hold and even increase the value of your dollar, because as we were talking about earlier, especially here in the States, the dollar is crashing. With all the printing of the new money, and you see it everywhere. Gas prices are double what they used to be. You go to the grocery store. I mean, even we went to Roscoe's earlier, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and for a meal that we used to cost us like 6 years ago, about $40, $50 max after the tip, cost double that. We spent $110, and we didn't get nothing, out of this world. It's just the dollar
too.
Yeah, the dollar doesn't get you as far as it used to.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys kind of touched on that, because, they think it's just, the crypto people that kind of, touch on these issues. They kind of make us the conspiracists almost.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm glad that this is just, like I said, financial education. If you're financial literate and you understand kind of what's going on with the dollar, and if you don't know, they can continue to devaluate the dollar, and all of, inflation is a real kind of concern, and they have no concern for the dollar, because they understand they will just continue to be bailed out. So for us, in cryptocurrency, holding, essentially what we call the melting icing block, makes no sense at all.
They can't print more.
Yeah,
right.
They can't. The finite supply of 21 million. A lot of people have lost their seed phrases and things over time, and we're talking about a minimum of maybe 18, 19 million, and that's between everybody in the entire world. Again, if we think of, every commodity we have, from gold to diamond to oils, we can make more of all of that. We can't make more of Bitcoin. And for me, that's what brought me to it, and that's what made me really kind of, attached to it, and want everyone to kind of participate, just understanding that, with this financial revolution, like you said, when we touched on earlier, if you're going to have a financial, just even a business deal with any business across the country or across the state, and you got to wait 4 or 5 days, just as you were saying, for that to clear.
For the transfers.
That was okay, 5 to 10 years ago, but that's not okay no more,
We're rapid. We're in a day where everything is moving fast.
Exactly.
Instant.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you got banks that are literally just holding your money for just for approval from who? It's your money.
They're not holding your money. They're lending that money out with interest.
Exactly.
As soon as you give the banks your money, the first thing they do is they find somebody to lend it to.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't know. The reason they're open from 9 to 5 is because they change your money from 5 to 9 every single day. And it's just like, all we're trying to educate people on is that, if you're going to, have anyone playing for money, it should be with you. And you should be investing, and you should be financially literate to know that, and you can, be able to earn yield on your own currency. But I'd love to kind of, I know you touched on some things earlier, which was actually very interesting. And the most interesting thing about it was, me and you were talking, and you said in passing, when it comes to branding deals, what you guys do is what you guys do, but what we do is what we do, and we'd love to kind of collab and be able to take on brands and other companies. And I'd love for you to kind of touch in on that, because that would be super, super interesting to a lot of NFT and crypto people that's kind of tuning in right now. They'll be thinking, okay, I have this particular brand, I'm an NFT collection, and I would love to have, for the ones listening right now, one of these kind of, jars right now. I'd love for you to kind of explain for simple layman's terms how that process will work out and how they could get that done.
I mean, what's give me like an NFT brand, for example, like you have the Bored Monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
for the Bored Apes,
so
for example. For the Bored Apes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
the Bored Apes wanted one.
Yeah. So say if you got the Bored Apes brand, and you want to start a concentrate company or a cannabis infused company with pre-rolls, or a full, you could do full flower, concentrate, pre-rolls, everything, right? If you were to want to do that, we just do a licensing deal where you just come holler at us. We give you the in-between between, this the $7 to $10 market. We can figure out a way to, get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's for for you. It's funny because me coming from this world, why this is so important. While I'm coming out here to educate and kind of bridge these gaps is for you it's very simple, but for a lot of our people, coming from the world we're coming from, this is still very new to them, and they're still trying to learn how to kind of onboard them. So this is very huge in our world, and very huge for the people that's listening, and a lot of the brands that will be a lot of very interested into. So I love to kind of you to break down the different styles and how you've been able to take different brands in different ways, from flowers as well as extracts onto your line.
Want to touch on that?
Okay, so as far, hold on, can you repeat that question again? I'm sorry.
So as far as you've taken on multiple brands. You kind of had a little kind of array over here of different type of brands, and it's not just dabs. You've got also a flower that was very fire. You came out here with dabs. We're just looking at dabs, and we kind of popped open your flower bag, and that was straight gas also. So you want to kind of explain those brands that you bring on, and kind of how you're able to work different deals with different type of kind of companies in that way.
So the flower that we're showing is just one of the companies that's working with us. Like, that's not our flower in particular.
Yeah.
That's just
but we would still take you guys to the farms and stuff like that. You guys could look at the bags and be like, yeah, just like we came over today with a whole bunch of gas. Shout out to Good Greens for their gas over there. Joe, he's doing a good job. But you'd pick your own flower, and you would pick your own design with bags. We would match it with the concentrate box. The bag right there there's a matching box here, if you don't mind. No shame in showing the team just how, there's another box.
And we don't mind shouting out the companies that we're working with, even though like that flower has
for sure
that we don't get anything from like promoting their flower, but the fact that they work with us and are willing to allow us to make their concentrate brand, we're gonna shout them out and show them love.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about you. Everyone here is kind of going crazy, and they're looking at these things, and for us, like I said, it's more than just kind of the JPEGs. What you guys have here, a lot of people looking here and tuning in would love to be part of kind of this and all this world, and kind of this is why this was very important and very educational, because as we kind of continue to upload this, I know a lot of people will be kind of hitting up my DMs and saying, hey, I want you to kind of reach out to those guys that you had on, and kind of let me connect through to them and see how I can make that deal with me. So, just as far as, like I said, if they were to come out, what's the best way to hit them through? Is that through email, or what's the best way?
Man, to be honest with you, please, and if you do, please let us know, that your recommendation is coming from you. You know what I'm saying? So, because, we like to, everybody that's connecting the dots, we like to make sure everybody gets compensated, everybody gets worked with, you know what I mean?
I love that.
Everybody working for free.
As far as it's like as far as if it's like a store or like a licensed company who wants us to create their concentrates, yes, they can contact you and then go through us. And, like I said, we're always going to hook you up for bridging that gap. And, if it's just a regular customer, like just an everyday, just average customer, I would say go on Weed Maps and type in Treebird brands or Treebird concentrates, whatever shows up on Weed Maps.
Yeah.
And it'll show you a list of stores of who we're in. Or also follow us at Treebird Brands, all one word. And you could see some of the companies that we are working with,
fire companies,
that we're doing our white labels with, because if you might see a Bougie on a Budget or a Flower Child or Amplified Farms, Modesto Cannabis Collective, just because it's in their packaging doesn't mean they're not getting our product, because it still came from us.
100%. And if you didn't know, I have my own project. My project is actually Board Dealers NFT. And that's exactly what we're here to do, is just bridge that gap. You don't even, you touched on it perfectly. You said, we just need someone to kind of do what they do, and we do what we do. And that's exactly what we do. When it comes to the NFT side, that's kind of where we do. That's where we handle crypto, all of that. As far as, accepting cryptocurrency, how open are you guys to that? Are you guys open to accepting Ethereum? Is that still a new thing?
I'm open to it, but we have to operate under California guidelines, and that's unfortunately what we have to deal with. So it's really up to what the state will allow us to do 100%. As far as payments and stuff like that. I see that becoming a normal thing in the future. But unfortunately, we have to go by the rules.
That'll change everything.
It's very difficult to become a licensed company, and the last thing we want to do is, after all the hard work we put in, 100%. Put that at risk.
100%.
When it's legal though, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
For sure.
Nah, I love that. I just kind of wanted to see where your mindset was at, which was awesome.
I want to touch on this too. Like, I appreciate people like you are out there to give the financial education like this, because you won't get this in school.
No.
They don't teach you.
They do not teach this in the American public school system.
Or the colleges.
Yeah,
they're not teaching you this financial education. And honestly, like, there's not too much NFT education out there as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a brand new market. How long has it been?
YouTube University.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah. And you're 100% right. And that's why I think with a lot of things, just like marijuana, it makes sense because they're both misconstrued in the same way and they're both being twisted in the same way,
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you come to kind of, this crypto world, and then, like I said, you meet people like us and you're like, they're not like how I thought they were,
No,
and
for
our communities, like if you were able to kind of hop into my Discord right now and see and just say like, hello, and you just see it's like an MSN chat. It's just going, and it's just like there's just so much love and good vibes in there, and it's just like we're only just getting started. And again, if you guys didn't know, the reason why we're running this is kind of for bulldealersnft.com. Tune in there, join the Discord, hit the Discord link, and you guys will see you have a bunch of love in there, and a lot of people kind of helping you. And it kind of one of the deals we've kind of been able to set up with Board Dealers NFTs, we partner with a particular dispensaries out in Denver. And they have obviously the vertical license, and it's allowing for delivering, obviously, as long as they're in a legal state. So we've been able to get discounts over them, and people have been able to take advantage of those discounts, which has been, really, really forward fronting and kind of starting that motion moving forward, which has been really, really, really exciting for us to see. Obviously, we know there's obviously you guys got Treebird. How long have you guys, been into this kind of business? I'd love for you to kind of tell a little bit of background of kind of, when you first kind of got into this.
So for me personally, I moved out from Florida about 11 years ago. I came out here at the very end of 2010. And what brought me out here was my brother originally moved out here because a friend of his got out here and started growing and saw, there was opportunity. And during that time, it was during the recession. So a lot of businesses were failing, especially in the construction and real estate industry. And that's exactly what my dad is in. My dad owns a carpet and tile company. And at the time, his business was going broke. And I came out here to visit my brother, and I helped him trim his first crop. And I saw a lot of opportunity where is basically they refer to it as the green rush. And I asked how much the setup costs. He said about $10,000, and then the crop costs $30,000. So I was like, okay, well, that math tells me I need to be out here. Yeah, if I could turn $10K into $30K in 3 months.
I need to be a genius for that one.
That's easy, yeah.
Exactly. So as soon as I helped him trim up and I came back, that was my goal. I told all my friends, hey, I'm going to, start doing that. Of course, most people, said, no, you're not. You can't do this. You can't do that. That just lit a fire under my ass and just made me really want to prove them wrong.
For sure. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. The more the doubt, the more you want it.
No, exactly. You want to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what was us with cryptocurrency. Everyone
exactly.
thought we were crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then it comes around 6-7 years and peep this. Elon Musk is buying, Michael Saylor buying Tesla. All of them is pumping out bags. All of them. It's the best feeling ever.
No, you know what's really funny about the crypto? I was one of those people that was thinking and this was...
It's a trend. It'll just die.
No.
Maybe if we close our eyes, they'll go away.
I was being told about it in 2009 by one of my one of my coworkers, and this guy was a little loopy, but he was he kept on talking about, he was like, the currency's gonna crash, cryptocurrency, all this stuff, and I was like, okay, and this was 2009. It was really, really unheard of. Bitcoin during that time, I think, was like $1.
You're buying a Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was
So
one of
like,
the use cases of it.
yeah. So like,
100%.
man, like
20 Bitcoin
you would have
gets
made
you
made
two
$100
pizzas.
investment back then. You're a
Single
millionaire today.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why this is so important, because there's a lot of those people that have come up and they don't understand kind of this world. And
I was
kind
one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And both of them kind of have their uses across from each other, and it's really, really, really exciting. Okay, so you obviously you created flour, you got into flour. How much longer from when you got into flour did you now
Get
decide,
into extracts?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go into extract. And also another question on top of that was, we know obviously it's technology needed to be at a certain level to allow for this obviously level that you're at. So explain also that if you can as well.
Okay, so when I first came out here, I was growing for about, even when I started getting into extracts, I continued to keep growing because I would always make extracts with my trim after my crop.
Right.
So I would say around 2012, around the summer of 2012 was when I started taking it serious, because I started shopping all around to all the clubs. Like I would just go on Weed Maps, I would call the stores, I would set up appointments, and I noticed there was a high demand for the wax, but there wasn't too many suppliers. And my brother already had a small Temisium extracts machine that processes about 30 to 40 grams of trim every hour and a half. So every hour and a half we were pulling off maybe between 6 to 8 grams of finished product. But at the time it was selling at a high enough amount to where it was enough for me to really start getting traction. So once I saw that there was a demand for that, I started going. I didn't have money at the time. I was just going around all the stores hey, if you give me trim, I'll do a split deal. I'll give you X amount if you let me run your material. And, enough people okay, well, here, I'll try it out. And then, as I started doing that, then I started buying some trim. I'd still do split deals, and got enough money to buy another machine, and then started running more stuff. And then I got another machine, and, pretty much kept on building from there, and just, kept reinvesting the money back into the company.
I love that. I love that. It's actually crazy, because the way you make it sound is so easy, but then you just think of all the regulation, and it's just it's so much more to that. Well, it's just insane.
And during the time, it was there was a lot of risk at that time to do the extracts, because there was no licensing for it, and a lot of people were blowing up their homes, and because they weren't doing it safe, because they weren't educated on how to do it properly. And some people were trying to, what we call it is open blasting, where you would blast through a glass tube and
hope that glass tube doesn't break.
Well, not only that, but
For real?
Yeah, so people would pretend this is a glass dish. They would blast into a glass tube with all the butane pouring down and all the product, and it's just basically boiling over. And if you're doing this inside, you're basically creating a bomb inside your house. So if somebody flicks a lighter or something, the whole house can explode. That's why a lot of people would be doing the open blasting outside, which is a much safer way to do it. But in order to what's the word I'm looking for? To basically
create that?
No, to heat. You got to add heat to take all the butane out.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a post processing. So some people would the people that would there's videos online you could see where people would do it over their kitchen table, and they would. A huge thing of flames go up.
Yeah, that's.
But the safest way is to use the closed loop systems, which is what we had.
You know why I think that kind of stuff existed too. Not only because it was back then. You don't see that no more too much. Do you see that? Do you see that recently? Have you seen any cases recently where anybody's been having explosions?
No, because there's a lot more education. There's more of these closed loop systems, and to tell you the truth, most of the people that are making wax today are doing it at a large enough scale to where the people who want to consume the products, they could just go buy it from the store. You know what I mean?
Sure.
At a decent price.
So they don't need to go back and take, unnecessary risks.
Well, and at the time too, there was, because it was so new, we were experimenting with everything. Like, I didn't know how to make the product. Like, we had to maybe this will work. Let's try doing this. It was all trial and error. So
I also hear that actual machine you're talking about is super expensive too, right? And there's only very limited around. It's like a scientist has to make it or something.
It's crazy.
It's something like that. Is that true?
So the machine that I had at the time was actually a fairly cheaper machine. It was only $1,500, but you couldn't process a lot. That machine today is the $1,500 one is completely useless because it doesn't do nearly enough volume for you to even be profitable. The equipment we use now, yes, it's a lot more expensive.
Speaking of volume, how much volume would you be saying you'd be doing roughly throughout, let's say in a week, you think?
We have the capability, if we need to, with the equipment we have, we could probably process like anywhere between like 3,000 to 5,000 pounds of trim.
Wild.
Yes.
Wow.
That's wild. 3,000 to 5,000. That's wild.
But that's assuming now, just to understand.
In 2 weeks?
No, in
1 week.
That's
right?
assuming we're running 24/7. That's assuming we're running every hour around the clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And you have to have people
on the custom mag one?
Yeah, we can run through that.
You're putting some ideas in his head right now.
No, I'm saying. No, I was saying. Maybe my timelines are off. I thought it was the 2 hours, 150.
Yeah, so just do the math.
Okay, there you go.
And now that machine has to be manned at all times, right? There has to be somebody on that machine watching and paying attention and doing 100%. Things at all times.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't just turn it on and walk away.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to. There's timings. You have to turn certain valves at certain times, and you got to make sure. And you got to make sure there's no gas leaks, because if there's a gas leak, then you can have an explosion just from turning on a light switch. So you just have to make sure that you have the proper safety calls or safety protocols put in place, that you're operating out of a safe C1D1 room, which is basically, it's an explosion-proof room. So if, God forbid, there is something that happens that
it'd be contained.
Yes.
100%. That's really, really, really insane. Okay, I'd love to touch on another thing. You guys told me if someone wanted to kind of brand themselves, how that would work. Could you also do that same thing with a flower deal, for example? Let's say, for example, someone had a particular strain name and a strain packaging in a particular way he wanted, and he obviously had the money to do it. How would that could you guys facilitate that also?
Yeah, definitely would have no problem with, somebody coming to visit. Actually, we have a gentleman coming next week to come visit. We're going to tour a couple of farms. Those he might be interested in growing some different kind of genetics, and we would process his biomass after it's done for the trim and to match his brand with the flower. So you can come by, check out some flower, and we can, get it popping.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of flower, I've had some of their flower. Their flower is straight fire. Hey, we weren't even expecting
from the mountain.
They came in here. They're like, we got this dab, we got that dab, let's look at all the dabs. And all of a sudden, we opened the flower packet.
Oh yeah,
whose flower is this?
And here's this half pound.
If I could I get the packet as well so I can show these guys? It's an ill packet, a USPS. It's a hell of a fire.
Looks like it came straight out of the mail.
Pop that up, and we got some love for you in there.
Look at the love I'm getting. Yeah. Look at this, guys, man.
We got the extraction.
This is real life extraction here. I got flour.
We got the flour.
Also, I wanted you to kind of touch in on the type of flour you got. You said it's a cross of gelato. Was it 43? Was it?
I think you said gelato 41.
Gelato 41, I think it was.
And I forgot what it does it say on it.
Yeah.
It's sealed. You got to rip it up in here. You're gonna get you. You got me.
Yeah, you got me. I just want to show them what they got here. They got me a ton of goodies. I got some hemp wraps. I got some merch bags. I got some of their shirts. I got some of their dabs. I got a lighter. Come on, this is love right here. This is love. I'd also beautiful. Look at this, straight gas. Wow. Me and Zeus has been smoking on this.
Yeah.
It's definitely some of the best stank I've had since I've come out here, for sure. And I got to give you guys big props for that. You guys have really done that.
Right.
I'd love to kind of also for you guys to touch in on, you, a little bit, your background, because I know you touched on yours, just kind of where you come, where you kind of came into, the flower game and marijuana, and then kind of when did you guys kind of get together and cross over?
Yeah. I've always been interested in marijuana. You know, it's definitely always made me relax. Me and Zeus were talking about it on and off camera earlier about just letting you get that little zen out time. Sometimes you got to chill out. So marijuana, at least for me, it helps me chill out. That's my glass of wine at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody has
exactly.
that little, that massage or something. I like to chill out with a nice joint, let it burn. Don't no electronics in front of me, nothing. I don't have to listen to music. Just kind of hang out, chill.
I love that.
Vibe
I love
out.
that. Simple guy,
And
right?
it's always been the same way. I just like to smoke, chill.
Chill.
Love that.
What about you? So, are you a person that dabs yourself? Are you into dabbing? Are you a flower guy? What's your preference?
Yeah. Actually, I'm smoking over here. My boy, I rolled him a bat right here.
Ooh.
Here, let me see that new bat, the new bat.
Take the new bat.
Yeah, let me
show
see.
the people right here.
Show the people the new bat. I put some of that.
Show them that Louisville Slugger right there. That's a Louisville Slugger.
It's probably like two grams or something like that.
2 grams of straight fire. And on top of that, I also didn't even know that there's something also in the paper. There's a little bit of a wax, a little
some
bit
sugar and
some
shit,
little bit of
fire.
shakiness going on there,
Yeah,
keeping
you
it with a
already
nice
know.
slow burn and get an extra bit of kick in there. So yeah,
Are you about to spark that guy?
yeah, it has to be. Yeah, you can't give it to me and I'm not sparking.
Hey.
This is like an Olympic torch right
Yeah,
now. It's
man.
gotta go around. It's gotta go around.
Hell
Love
yeah.
to go around. I'd love for you to kind of explain the process of one is longer than the other to create, right? So the diamond is harder to get to that kind of particular quality,
Yeah, it
right?
does
And
need to
that
sit a
particular
little bit longer for sure.
Yeah, would you kind of separate the difference and what the process is completely different, right?
So as far as like the diamonds go, they go through the post process, the curing process in the ovens, a little bit longer period of. So if you wanted to say we don't have any of this here, but it's called like honeycomb or crumble, that can be made. That's one of the fastest processes. There's also shatter, which also isn't here at the moment. Where if you can Google it or go on YouTube and look at shatter, it's basically like it's a really thin,
Like a glass, right?
yes,
Exactly.
It's really thin. It breaks easily. It kind of shatters like glass, and both of those processes are a little bit faster to do. The diamonds, they take a little bit longer. They have to be put under pressure, and they kind of just form on their own. And the batter is like almost like it's like a consistency where it's like like it's like more sugary, and it's like got the terp sauce and stuff mixed in, and that usually takes it's like in between. It's like it takes like maybe a couple days longer than like the shatter and the crumble.
Yeah.
But each of them has its own unique way of establishing its consistency.
For sure. One thing I wanted you to also explain as well, because you guys opened my eyes to today, was the importance of kind of you guys, because of how hard the industry actually is to kind of be in there, not only being there and then staying there, right? So this is why kind of having you guys is so important for kind of brands like these, because they can like essentially come to you, like you said, make a particular deal and just have that taken care of. So I want you guys to kind of just for the people, because a lot of me and a lot of us, coming from illegal countries don't know, we're just looking at and we're thinking, oh, it's legal, it's la-di-da, it's great, right? It's like you said, these green rushes keep going. But explain how hard it is to actually being there, comply, them kind of doing their regular checkups and that, and then why it's so important for these brands to kind of have you guys just, like you said, you even take care of distribution. So I'd love to touch on that.
Shit, I could touch on that real quick. For you to get a fully functioning space, you're going to be in hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially, if not more than that.
Yeah, if not millions.
And we're talking about equipment. We're talking about the
Packaging.
regulations and all this stuff that has to be done. Not even the packaging, because before you even get to packaging, you have to walk through this building, and then certain doors got to be certain widths and the densities of the metal and all kinds of stuff. You have to have certain steel doors. Cameras have to be in certain places. Certain people have to come and check, and then you have to wait for this permit. You got to do that, and then the fire people come. That's 16 bands for the fire. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people don't have the means to sometimes be able to do things like that. So if you don't have a backbone or something like that, so. And
there's a lot of unexpected costs that you don't.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And And yeah, so there's all of that. The equipment alone is expensive.
Yeah,
you
you're
know what I
talking
mean?
about hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment just to be able to do it right. Because when you do it, you want to do it right. You know,
100%.
you can get a small amount though. You can also do 10-pound runs and stuff like that. But we like to do big runs.
100%.
Body weights.
Especially like you said, since you're trying to appeal to it, like you said, you're not only making fire dabs, but making dabs that are appealable to the lower end market. People that, like you said, believe you said between $20 and $25.
Yeah, exactly, for some gas. So instead of you jumping through all those hoops, we could do, $10.99 or something like that to, so you can have your tax papers and everything like that. We can do licensing deals where they would keep all the merch like we were using. Is it the Bored Ape, right? Mm-hmm. So you would have all the merch for the Bored Ape, all the stuff, except we would just split the concentrate profits and stuff like that. A certain percentage, we would obviously discuss the deal and everything like that. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So that's pretty much it. It would save you going through all of that, just partnering with us and letting us bring your brand to the market,
Awesome.
Shop your brand and say, hey, I tried a dozen of your products. I want A, B, C, D, and E. Whatever in flavors, I want those in my box. This is how I want my box. We do the designing, all that kind of stuff, and then we get it going.
Also, I'd like to touch up on this too. Even before the product gets into the boxes, we have what's called an R&D test, just to make sure there's no heavy metals or any pesticides,
right, any residual solvents.
So we make sure we do that test to make sure it comes out clean. Once we finds out that it comes out clean, then we have to gram it all out, put them into those little jars, weigh them up 1 gram at a time, put them on the jars. They have to go into the compliant packaging. And then we have to tamper seal each and every one to make sure that it's showing that it's not being opened and closed, so the customer knows that the product, after it's in its final form, it's not messed with. And after it's all said and done like that, then you have to get final testing, where that's roughly $450 per flavor per test. So,
that's when they come by. You have 3,000 units sitting right there. They basically come by and pick random units. They'll come by.
They
and
grab eight units per flavor.
You know what I mean? Just to make sure that the consistency is solid. That makes sense. You're not like, pick these ones over here.
Yeah. Just take these ones and don't worry about these boxes. Or I'll put these boxes at the top.
Yeah, so they'll open up all of them and they'll pick like a random one that they're choosing. You know what I mean? So
another thing I wanted to ask was, let's say, like I said, they did come to you. And it was, a deal that made sense. For example, let's say the board dealers, for example, us, from start time till finally, it's on the market. What's a rough? Obviously it's hard to say. It depends on.
No, it's not. I can give pretty good answers to that.
Beautiful.
For sure.
He's ready.
That's
My
what
man's ready to go.
That's what the people's here for.
Nah, it's cool. Normal packaging times, they usually tell you, 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. That's usually our packaging time, so is about a month.
That's
pace, right?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
4 to 6 weeks.
Hustle.
To get it, to 4 to 6 weeks to get it. But like you said, there's still, so those tests, flour, for some reason, I don't know, I guess there's different consistencies, but if you test 50 pounds of flour, you can put it into 50 bags and they're out for sale. But if you get 50 pounds of concentrate and you test it and you put it into 50 bags, you have to get 50 more COAs for every single test. You got to get that $450 test.
Ooh,
so they tax you a little bit more. So it kind of changes the dynamic of what we can do and how much we can split it up.
And that's why when we do these white label deals, we require a minimum per flavor. Because if I get 500 units of one flavor, that test is still going to be $450. If I get 100 units, that test is still $450. So my cost will go up. Let's say if I do the 100 units, I have to let that customer know, well, you have to cover the COA cost.
Right, you have to cover
because
the
that's an extra $4.50 on each gram.
Per gram.
And that's a big cost.
That adds up quick, huh?
100%.
Especially when we're trying to, we pride ourselves on making products, fire products too, that everybody can afford. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's what's really going to appeal to a lot of people. The fact that it's appealable to the normal person. Because we've got obviously whales and a lot of people with money, but we also have the normal everyday guys that still do cryptocurrency and things too, which is awesome too.
Yeah.
I love to kind of I didn't get to kind of get the answer. Do you guys dab at all or?
I like to put it in the joint and infuse it. Like I was saying, my boys rolling them bats. That's what that is right there.
Nice.
So I like to infuse it, and but I don't like the straight dabs. Like
that's a little too strong.
I like
for
to
us.
sip. I like to sip my tequila.
Yeah, for sure,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
And I
Instead
seen
of
you had a
just
little
straight.
bit of Henny off, a little
Yeah.
bit of that brown water.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
right.
loves that. That's a look good
Yeah.
to wash it down.
You know.
I know you touched a little bit early on. So the first time you heard about Bitcoin was in what year again? You said, sorry?
I heard
2009.
about when I heard about it, I was introduced to it as cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin. He just was telling me cryptocurrency is going to be, I remember even Googling it, and I was like, this ain't nothing. Like, I don't know about all this. And I just, forgot about it. And the only reason I remember it is because, sometimes you'll hear something and you just forget about it, but then you realize it's a big deal and it'll click like, damn, that guy was talking about this, and it's crazy is that guy is probably worth hundreds of millions because think about it. If you just do the math, what's 1,000 Bitcoin worth? If you just put $1,000 into it when it was $1 a coin,
Yeah, that's right.
if you got 1,000 Bitcoin today, what's 1,000 times 40,000?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
That's a
money.
lot.
And
it's probably
of money.
400 million.
And the crazy thing is we know too many of them, and a lot of them, even in one of the coins I tell them, Hex did 1,000,000% in 2 years. So
That's insane.
There's a lot of these kind of stories that happen. Bored Apes minted at $180. The floor on them's, at least 400,000.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it's just gonna continue to happen. The great thing about Corona was it kind of showed us, already what was possible. Anyone that wasn't online or had some sort of kind of online presence was just, dead in water. So,
It also let us know that the dollar is going down in value.
100%, and that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna bet against anything, just bet against the inflation that's gonna continue to happen. I think we just lost a light right here. They're probably gonna get that real fixed real quick, but that's okay. But yeah, so I love for you, the Zeus, to kind of touch in on kind of the dabs and kind of what do you thought about what your thoughts on them are?
Man, I'll tell you what. They have so many different kinds, and they're all a unique experience of their own. And that's what I think what I love about them the most is because I'm now on this Bubba what? What is
Bubba
it?
cereal.
Bubba cereal?
Bubba
Yeah.
cereal.
Unbelievable. What's that a cross of?
It's
It's sorry about that.
It's gas, is what it is.
Literally, you can tell what it's a cross of. It's a cross of that loud.
It's Bubba Kush, gas mints, and cereal milk.
Unreal. And it tastes different. It tastes different than the Lake Show. We got the same weed, different wax, and the joints have two different profiles.
That's ridiculous.
That's
100%.
incredible. We've gotten to the age where you can do designer cannabis. Designer cannabis is the future.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that.
But I want. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I
go.
apologize.
Go ahead.
But you were talking about bridging the gap. So I know this is a cannabis station, and I know you're crazy with the NFTs.
Definitely.
So drop it on us too, and explain to me, because I got some questions my damn self, because I want to drop some NFTs.
Hell yeah.
So say I got a partnership, right? Say I'm doing my thing, and I say, hey, I want to do a NFT drop with one of the concentrate brands.
For sure.
What am I doing? What am I doing right here with this box?
So
What am I
essentially,
doing with
you'd
this?
come to me. That's Bold Dealers NFT. We would essentially come up with my team, which is essentially two things. People that's able to strategize and put together an entire marketing plan around kind of just like a business or how we're going to present you to the NFT world.
Right. So here's the NFT right here. That's the shit. You get my shit. You got the box. You got the.
Yeah. So essentially, it's rather than selling just the product, we like to sell the experience. So it'd be more of an access to particular utility or events that you guys already have participating in.
Right.
So it'd be a breakdown of what your company is, what you guys do, what you have access to, and what you'd be willing to kind of give out to that particular company or whatever it is.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you purchase these NFTs, you now are in a club with all these people to where you get invited to these events and all these other things to where
Exactly.
you're. So yeah, it sounds to me like you're not only buying, you get the artwork, but you also get, you're in a community.
100%.
Within that community, they from my understanding, they'll even have yacht parties, mansion parties, all
Exactly.
these things.
So just for holding my Bold Dealers NFT, like I was telling you, we partner with Denver kind of partners, which obviously because they have the medical license, and they're allowing for 30% off as long as you're in a state delivery, just for holding a Bald Deals NFT. So now as you're buying, you're getting a 30% discount. On top of that, you're getting access to out in real life events. So there's parties, access to marijuana conferences. You can come to the Hayes Cup and all these things.
So who would help us with that side? You would help us with that?
Of course, that's what Bald Dealers is here for. We'd help you with all of that. That's exactly what we're here to do. We're building that bridge across. And like I said, for us, this isn't.
We're dropping that NFT.
Yeah, and for us, it isn't a thing.
NFTs.
It isn't a thing where we're coming and we want profit, nothing. Whatever we come for your job, that's all for you. All we want is like, what can our guys get now that we helped you? As far as utility. If they come, maybe you say, oh, you guys all get a jar of this each, whatever it is, so we work it out. And that's what it is for us, it's about the community and creating this core community. Because, you could pop in right now, we've got 10,000 in there any day of the week, just with love, and we're growing day by day by day by day by day.
So we can get something.
You get the right.
It's no ifs or buts about it. That's done.
That's
done.
There it is. Yeah,
yeah, guys,
set in
need to hear
stone.
first.
Let's go.
We
got that on wax.
Yeah, we're not. If you don't know, that's a punchline. It's the kings of dabs out here, and you know. I really respect your kind of open mind, and this is why I always said this is just a conversation to be had. For a lot of it, again, they don't understand this world, and now we have someone to kind of bridge that gap. Like you said, we do what we're good at, you do what you're good at, and everybody kind of wins, and it's just a real positive thing. And again, you guys are not gatekeeping information as far as what you're doing, the process, just how you explained it, the blasting, all of that. That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're not trying to gatekeep. He's not trying to gatekeep, my man. We're all out here trying to give energy and that's why I believe things just keep coming back around this world and create these type of circles we have today. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm super blessed to kind of have met you guys and have you on. I know 100% we're going to be in contact offline.
Oh, definitely.
I know 100% these guys are going to be blowing up and we're going to have a bunch of conversations. Zeus, you want to leave us with a couple things before we check out?
Hey, man, look, we just want to appreciate y'all. Thank everybody for rocking with us today, all right? We got the king of crypto with us, the king of NFTs, my main man Ghost, right? We got our brothers here with us today from Treebird. We got Daniel, and we got Chet. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Listen, if y'all got questions, if y'all got concerns, answers, anything, you can find us all online. Ghost, where's the best place to find you?
DeFi_Ghost on Twitter or Ghost DeFi on Instagram. You already know what it is. This is the Black Gary V going ranting on all the nets. Everybody knows me. I'm the crazy one. I'm the one out here saying things that everybody's like, how is this guy out here? Yeah. Where do they find you, my man?
Man, we're at Treebird Brands. At Treebird Brands, you know how the marijuana industry is on IG.
Yeah, right. You gotta type out every single letter before it pops up.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Because right now they just went.
You want to plug us?
Yeah, for sure. There's Treebird Brands. It's funny because even with us, they just hit me with the shadow ban. I'm pretty sure right now as well. Ever since I've got here, so it looks like
why they shadow banning you? What are you doing wrong?
Yo, I've been here for only 3 days and I'm already on the shadow ban.
Unbelievable. Hey, welcome to the world of social media, right?
You've been posting cannabis?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
they got
it. They got it on lock. And it's crazy because I only did it in my stories too. And I was like, wow, I thought I was slick.
And I didn't
show any cannabis. I just showed packets.
Hey, what people don't realize too is like what you're doing with the NFT is like you're putting a community of people together, and there's extreme value in that. Yeah, there's so people think that there's only value in currency and dollars, but there's a huge value in having the right people around each other.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah, that's
your net worth.
Shout out to Uncle
G. Your net worth.
That's from Grant Cardone.
Yeah,
it's from a lot of people.
We always talk that.
That's from a whole bunch of people.
That's it.
It's something that is so important, and it's something I'm super passionate about, and for us that's what it was for me to come out here. I was doing these Twitter Spaces originally, with thousands and thousands of people, and but now we got even tomorrow we've got Corey Van people coming in and 40 tons and a bunch of big other brands and bunch of celebrities are coming out and showing support too. And like you said, it was just a conversation, and the more we have these conversations, the more we bring it together. And the crazy thing that's bringing this all together, the love for the marijuana plant and the smoke itself, and
the medicine
and the financial education.
Exactly. So I want to thank everybody that tuned in today. Thank you to Zeus. Thank you to Treebird. We already know
thank you.
A lot of people are going to be trying to get through to them, and thank you to everyone that kind of tuned in today. And
hell yeah.
I guess we go with love, Zeus. And you want to leave anything else? Anyone want to leave anything else? Any shout outs?
Man, thank you guys for having us, man. We much appreciated, man. I appreciate you again. We're going to definitely get to these NFTs, man.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
100%.
excited to be more educated and learn some stuff, man. So let's go.
For sure.
Be good, y'all. We'll be back with that knowledge.
Yo, you already know. Go with Fly, guys. Bull Dealers NFT.
All right, we out.
Check you out.
Peace.
I'm outside. We outside. Yeah. I remember sitting outside, it was cold, I was sitting in the bleachers. I feel so low, just holding my pole, just like a bordello. Came up on crypto, now my wrist feels like a freezer. I try to tell them, but them niggas caught amnesia. I remember sitting outside, it was cold, I was sitting in the bleachers. I feel so low, just holding my pole, just like a bordello. Came up on crypto, now my wrist feels like a freezer. I try to tell them, but them niggas caught amnesia.
The other day made racks off Sheba. Got me feel like me's bull dealer. Rich niggas still stepping Adidas. In the good hybrid sativas. In the metaverse talking to Jesus. Left wrist be stuck in the freezer. Keep post with the guard, I need her. I ain't tryna go down like Akita. Came up on DeFi. Quadrupled my money like 3 times. At first it was hard to believe. 7 days work, I was up in a week. Remember last year I was stuck in the street. Now nigga trap on my HP. Smoking with a cake on open sea. Waiting for the drop of the NFTs.
Let's go.
Yeah. Nigga, that's all I know. I just came up on the IDO. I be online getting coins for the low. Spooky swap, my wallet gon' grow. Now I just kick it, trap it or glow. Remember them nights, I was trapping the cold. Grabbing them bricks, flipping them O's. All my life, had to roll that dice. No free sauce, had to pay that price. Also cold shit, be on ice. Everybody money, then talk to me nice. All my life, had to roll that dice. No free sauce, had to pay that price. Also cold shit, be on ice. Everybody money, then talk to me nice.
I remember sitting outside, it was cold, I was sitting in the bleachers.
Let's get it.
I feel so low, just holding my pole, just like a bordello. Came up on crypto, now my wrist feels like a freezer. I try to tell them, but them niggas caught amnesia. I remember sitting outside, it was cold, I was sitting in the bleachers. I feel so low, just holding my pole, just like a bordello. Came up on crypto, now my wrist feels like a freezer. I try to tell them, but them niggas caught amnesia. Sit in the bleachers. Like a bordello. Like a freezer. Caught amnesia.
You're listening to Hayes Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio.